All right, everybody. Let me get everything together, and we will get it popping and going. Okay, what's up, everybody? My name is Cola E. All right, now listen. This is my first YouTube post in a very, very long time. Okay, so don't get used to what you're seeing right now. This is not the regular set, but I just had to get on here tonight because of this R. Kelly situation, surviving R. Kelly. I had to get on here tonight because this is tearing up my soul. And before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we got Mr. Mysterious in the background. He don't want to be on camera, so this is Mr. Mysterious on the side. He's going to be chiming in. But this is what I got to say about this. Now that this is a third or fourth day in, I'm sitting up here looking at YouTube shows and YouTube commentation, and I'm scrolling down and reading all the comments, and there are people who are actually not condoning, but they are saying that this is a lie. They're saying that people are lying on R. Kelly.
Wow.
And this is what I got to say about that. Listen, if he married Aaliyah at 15 years old, and the proof was shown on television, they had the marriage license. If he married her at 15 years old, you telling me that he's not subject to do what they're saying he's doing to these other underage girls? If he had a videotape showing him peeing on another girl, plus marrying Aaliyah at 15, you telling me this man is not capable of dating other underage girls? Are you serious? That's the evidence. We got the videotape, and for a long time, for years, I did not truly believe, I couldn't say 100% that there was R. Kelly on that videotape. I was an R. Kelly super fan. Okay?
I was a super fan.
We both were.
I was a super fan.
And I just did not, because when it came out, it was on VHS. It was in the late 90s. The VHS tapes, especially a recording, it was super duper fuzzy. The lighting was horrible. It was horrible. It was a horrible recording. The lighting was horrible. The sound was bad, and it was on a VHS tape. And so after you getting a copy after copy after copy after copy, the video is going to downgrade. And then we had it on bootleg. That's how I saw it. And it was just a horrible copy. So it looked like R. Kelly's shape, but you really couldn't tell. For me, I couldn't say 100% that was R. Kelly. I couldn't say that.
I knew it was him. I'm sorry.
How did you know?
I just knew it was R. Kelly. I mean,
but
it was enough for me.
But could you say 100% that was R. Kelly?
For me, yes.
How? How is that?
Because I can say he was 100%. It was 100%.
Well, for me, it wasn't 100%.
We didn't have all the technology we have today, so we were used to looking at VHS videotapes.
But it was a copy of another copy of another copy of another. It was a bootleg. Anyway, we
watched bootleg movies with people sending.
Yeah, it was bad though.
Well,
they were bad.
We still got the sauce of the movie that we wanted to see.
Okay, so
if I ask you about the movie, you'll know about the movie and who acted in it and all.
So Mr. Mysterious is saying that he knew it was R. Kelly. For me, I didn't know. I couldn't say 100% that this was R. Kelly. But now, in today's age, with the technology that we have and the upgraded videotape that they've put out of him, that is R. Kelly. That's R. Kelly pissing on that girl.
Told you.
That's R. Kelly pissing on that girl. And he married Aaliyah. What more should you say? Why are we even questioning whether he did this to these other girls? This nigga was so nasty as to piss all over this little 14-year-old little girl. And Sparkle said it was her niece when she saw it. She said it was her niece. So, I don't understand where we are as black people. It really makes me question where we are. And if we really care about ourselves, if we really care about our children, if we really care about our culture, it really makes me wonder where we are. Now, so for those of y'all who don't believe that there was R. Kelly, you need to wake up, because R. Kelly did do what these girls are saying. I don't understand why any underage girl would have to lie about what's going on. Because number one, it's embarrassing and it's humiliating. I'm a survivor myself, and no one wants to talk about that. It is embarrassing, it's shameful, it's humiliating. Even though you weren't the perpetrator, it's still something shameful that survivors and victims just don't want to talk about. So moving on, I did want to address what happened to R. Kelly when he was a child. Okay? And I'm not saying that this makes his situation even better, but the man is sick. And we're going to tie all of this together. So R. Kelly admits that he was molested when he was a child. His brother admits that they both were molested by their sister. So, and R. Kelly, he admitted it himself too as well. I've seen several interviews where he talked about him being molested. And I'm going to tell you something. When someone is molested at such an early age, what it does do is turn on hormones that aren't ready to be turned on at that time. And R. Kelly said it perfectly. And there's something that goes on with your body that you don't quite understand. You know it might feel good, but you don't quite understand it. And at the same time, you know it's something wrong. You know it's something secretive at the same time.
Yeah, you do, but that don't give justice to doing what he's doing.
No, I'm not. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when a child is manipulated and taken advantage of at such an early age, it crosses boundaries. And at that age, you should be learning boundaries. You should be learning, of course, you know right from wrong, but it's really not ingrained in you at age 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you know right from wrong, but at the same time, you're still sneaking around and doing stuff. And at that age, you're learning boundaries. And when those boundaries are constantly being crossed, because he said he was molested from a very early age all the way up until I think he said he was 14 years old.
Yeah, he said 14.
And I mean, when those boundaries are constantly being crossed on a regular basis, you do begin to as a child, lose reality of what boundaries really are. And it really doesn't get ingrained the way that it should. So that type of trauma, that creates a trauma within the child. And that type of trauma affects you growing up. And I'm not excusing what he's doing, but he was traumatized as a kid. He was, especially with his sister. Come on, your sister. That's incest. That is a boundary. Some people were molested by cousins. Some people were molested by uncles or close family friends. But your sister, that's a boundary that when it was supposed to be ingrained and taught at that time, it wasn't getting taught. It was being crossed and violated on a regular basis. And that's part of his issue now. And I am not giving him an excuse, because when he was 17, 18, 19, 20, he knew that he shouldn't have been messing with those little girls. By law, he knew he shouldn't have been messing with those little girls. But the man is sick and he's twisted and he's traumatized. And when he realized that within himself, he should have sought help for that. He knew that he needed help. He knew he had a little secret, nasty pleasure that wasn't acceptable in today's, in society. In our society, he knew he had that. That's why he was doing it all behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. He knew he had a little secret, a little nasty secret that he was hiding behind closed doors. He knew it was disgusting. And when he started to realize that he was having these thoughts about young girls, when he started to realize why he was, that he had a really strong attraction to young girls, he should have sought help for that. Because I know he questioned himself as to why he wasn't attracted to women his age and why he was attracted to much younger girls. I know he questioned himself. I know he did. And he should have sought help for that then. So, but I do want to say that is the effects of being molested as a child, that it's a traumatic situation. And a lot of things that kids are supposed to be learning at that time, they don't get to learn that. Such as boundaries, such as violations. They don't get to learn those things. They don't. And it causes a lot of confusion. But now I still, he's 50 years old. Still, I can't, I'm not saying that it's okay what he's doing because of the molestation. Because he should have sought help when he realized that he realized that he wasn't attracted to women his age. He should have sought help for that. Now, people are saying that he have a sex cult. You know what? I don't think it's a sex cult. To me, he has a hostel with sex slaves. No, seriously, it's not a sex cult to me. To me, it's a hostel. He has turned his studio and his home into a hostel with sex slaves.
Big pimping.
That's what he has done.
It's gorilla pimping. Gorilla.
What it is, sick pimping. That's what he's doing.
Gorilla pimping.
And the man is just, I mean, you know, it just really hurts me to understand how this man is affecting the lives of all of these girls. Some of these girls will be traumatized until the day that they die. Just like he has been traumatized. They will be traumatized until the day that they die. Not all of them. Some of them will survive R. Kelly. But then there's others whose lives, after this is all over, will continuously go down. Go downhill. Some of the girls said that he has made them eat his feces.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible.
We know,
especially if you don't want to do it. That's wow.
Who wants to do that? That's so unnatural and so
There's
unnormal.
some women who do that. There is some kind of sexual pleasure.
Yeah, it is, but
some
I'm
people
sure
like doing
these. Yeah, but
I for one like food. I don't like feces, but I'm just saying some people like doing that. So, but that's not the case. That's not
Mr. Mysterious. We've talked about this.
Right.
This is no joking matter.
Okay, I'm just saying.
We know you like food.
I know it's not a joking matter.
This is not a joking matter. But some of these girls were saying that he has made them eat their feces. Who? Why? What pleasure would he get out of that? And you know he into body fluids. He is into it. Did we not see a tape of him pissing on that 14-year-old? He is into body fluids, so you know this girl ain't lying. He's turning some of these girls into homosexuals. I forget one girl's name, but he's made one particular girl cut her hair off like a boy, dress like a boy, and one of the people that was on the Surviving R. Kelly series, one of them said that he's turned that little girl into his boy toy. He done let me, okay, number one, she underage. Or he got to her when she was underage. That's number one. Number two, he's made her shave her hair, dress like a boy, wear a mustache at times, and turn her into his boy toy.
Wow.
How twisted is that? I can't. How twisted is that? Number one, he's sexing her down, and she probably screwing him. I'm sure he got her strapping it on. I know.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's strapping it on.
It's been words of saying that.
So these are the stories that we've heard about this man. I heard that there's one story of him with his ex-wife. His brother tells this story that I forgot where they were, but he was visiting R. Kelly, and some kind of way he sees R. Kelly's wife butt naked on all fours with a dog chain wrapped around her neck, and R. Kelly holding it at the other end. Okay, let me paint the picture. This is the same guy that married 15-year-old Aaliyah. This is the same guy who was pissing on the 14-year-old on the videotape. The same guy who made this girl or women or girls eat his feces. The same guy that had his wife on all fours, butt naked with a dog chain around her neck in front of his brother. And people want to sit up here and take up for R. Kelly and say that these women are lying. This man is sick. What other proof that he does do you need? His own brother is saying these things about him. And this man ain't received a dime. Mm-hmm. His own brother is saying these things about him. Well. Now, here's my thing with this. And that's just only a couple of stories. That's not even all the stories. That's just a couple of stories.
It's not enough time to go through all the stories.
That's just a couple of stories. That's not even all of them. But here is my thing with what R. Kelly has done and what he's doing. Not only should R. Kelly go to jail, but the family should go to jail. The parents should go to jail. The parents of the girls that hand-delivered their child to R. Kelly should go to jail. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say, because you've heard of his history. And even if you didn't know it for certain, like I didn't know it for certain, I would not hand-deliver my child to R. Kelly. Not, even though I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I got to be 100%. Number one, first, let me stop. I got to be 100% about nothing. Number one, I'm not going to hand-deliver my teenage child to a man. Period. These parents need to be locked up, and
security need to be locked up.
Well, I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
These parents need to be locked up because, see, anyone in the United States that's black, that listens to R&B, we all know R. Kelly. We know Sex Me. We know 12 Play. We know Bump and Grind. We know his music, okay? Everywhere you go, you are going to hear R. Kelly's music. And you heard the stories and you seen the videotape. So even if you wasn't sure that was him on the videotape, just like I wasn't sure that was him on the videotape, simply because he was accused of that, and we do know for certain that he was married to Aaliyah. That was a big ordeal back in the day. Everybody talked about it, but then it was something that just died down, and we went on with our lives. Yeah. When they came out with Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, that was clear. And at the same time, that's when everybody was suspecting that him and Aaliyah was messing around. And then Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. I mean, come on, what other proof do you need? This man likes little girls. He likes teenagers. So, with all that history behind him, you telling me that you go hand deliver your daughter to R. Kelly?
Heck no.
With all that history.
Heck no.
But see, this is what the parents were thinking. They were thinking fame,
money.
Stardom, money, fortune. That's what they were thinking. And they were willing to risk the safety and the future of their daughters for fame and fortune and money. They were willing to risk the safety of their daughters for fame and money. There's no way I would have taken a chance with that. And like I said, not just with R. Kelly, but with a man, period. I would have never hand-delivered my child to a man. Mm-hmm. I don't care if it is R. Kelly. Yeah. Because what they were hoping was that she would get a contract, she would blow up, and get signed, and then there you go. They live in a life of luxury. But here's the thing with that. R. Kelly is a perfect example of all that glitters ain't gold. He is the perfect example of that. All that glitters ain't gold. And why risk your child? Why risk her future, her current status, her safety, her mind, her soul for money? I don't care how much you were subject to get paid or how big your contract was gonna be. It wasn't worth it. It's just not worth your child's sanity, because this is something that this child is going to live with until the day that she dies. You cannot undo this. You cannot reverse this. You cannot go back in the future. This is gonna be with that child forever. And the parents were ignorant. And they weren't thinking when they saw the opportunity to work with R. Kelly. I mean, I bet them eyes just started blinging and popping once they saw the opportunity to work with R. Kelly.
They were thinking. They were thinking about money.
Yeah, you're right. They was thinking about money. And it just wasn't worth it. Because at the end of, listen. Wealth, fame, versus a broken soul. You can't buy a new soul. You can always get money. You might not always be able to get millions, but you can always get money. But you can't buy a broken soul. You can't fix a broken soul. I mean, this girl may be these women may be traumatized, and girls, for the rest of their lives. And it just wasn't worth it. So now at the end of the day, while you did risk your daughter for fame and fortune, you actually broke her soul. And so not only is her spirit broken, but you still broke. And now you broken as parents. Mm-hmm. It's a lose-lose across the board. You're broken as parents. Your child's spirit is broke. And plus you broke. It's a lose-lose across the board. And it just wasn't worth the risk. The risk was too high. The risk was too high. It cost too much. It wasn't worth the risk. And for any parent out there, that you might not think that you're a groupie parent, you need to check yourself. You trying to get your children in the celebrity world. They got talent and you want them in signing contracts and, they got the potential to be famous. Guard them and protect them. Don't be a groupie parent willing to sell your child out just for some millions. All that glitters ain't gold, and there's millionaires around here all day long that are miserable, that are committing suicide, that are overdosing on pills, and we see that on a regular basis. They ain't happy. They ain't happy, and it just ain't even worth it. So, the parents, they need to be locked up. And I think they need to be locked up for...
need to be misparenting.
Well, I mean, there is some
kind of law.
There's some
parenting.
I can't say, but they need to be locked up. They need to be locked up because they clearly don't understand what parenting entails. They need to be locked up if they're willing to sacrifice or risk their child's safety over money. They need to be locked up. You can't buy a fixed soul. Money don't buy that. They will be broken, and you cannot fix that with money. I'm sorry. They need to be locked up, and not only do they need to be locked up, but the people around them need to be locked up as well. I'm sorry. His whole camp, his managers, his his security. This nephew who he sends to get these girls, he need to be locked up too. Everybody in his camp that knew this was going on, because they knew it, whoever the bus driver was that drove the tour bus, he need to be locked up. Yeah. Whoever the security guards are who secure him and those girls, they need to be locked up too. Whoever his manager is, whoever the studio manager is, who's in that studio where he got those rooms where all those girls are at.
Yeah, even the guys who are doing the interviews on there saying, I went into the room and I was like, well, what's going on here? And blah, 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 blah. It should have been.
They need to be locked up.
He should have been exposed.
And the dude who was stupid enough to sit and admit that he was there when him and Aaliyah got married, he need to be locked up.
No, he also changed her date, her age.
He need to be locked up.
And he said,
he need to be locked up.
But we changed her age.
He need to be locked up. Yeah. Everybody in his camp that had a hand in that and that condoned that and that saw what was going on and didn't do a thing, they assisted him in this because he couldn't have done it by himself.
Yeah.
He could not have done it by himself. And still at this time, he still can't keep all of them girls by himself. Somebody's helping him stash them away. He still got a bus driver. He ain't driving the bus himself. So that man is carrying these underage girls across state lines. He need to be locked up too. Who's driving the bus? Who's securing the girls and R. Kelly when they together? They need to be locked up too.
That's a charge. And holding it against your will, ain't this assault?
Yes. Well, it's not assault. It's kidnapping.
No, not kidnapping. It's what is it? Holding against your will.
I don't know, Mr. Mysterious.
Yes, it's something like
that. But
I
know all that's involved need to be kidnapped.
Everybody
need to be kidnapped. My bad. They need to be arrested. They need to be, they need to be kidnapped and then arrested. They need to be kidnapped like these girls. They need to be made to eat feces. They need to get pissed off. Anyway, they need to be locked up. They need to be locked up. So not only do the R. Kelly need to be locked up, but the parents who hand delivered them girls to R. Kelly, they need to be locked up. And that wasn't the case for all of them. But they need to be locked up. And his team, who's helping him hide these girls and keep these girls, they need to be locked up too. Whoever his maid is, who going to the grocery store bringing food back to these girls, she need to be locked up too, because they know what's going on.
Yeah.
They know what's going on. They need to be locked up too. I'm sorry, his whole camp, R. Kelly and his camp, and those parents need to be locked up, because he could not have done this by himself. I don't know what else to say. The man is guilty. And for those of you who are saying, well, they just trying to tear him down. They always trying to tear down our black men. Well, what about Hugh Hefner? And this is just a distraction from what's going on with the president. It might be a distraction, but guess what? These are facts right now. It might be a distraction, but don't let it be a distraction to you. Keep digging into what the president is doing and the government shut down. But these are facts. We're talking about a man who we have on video pissing on somebody, and we now know that that's him. The tape ain't as fuzzy as it was. We know that he married Aaliyah at 15, and he knew it was wrong because he had her age changed. So we're talking about a man who we know for certain did these things, and this same man is being accused of continuing to take in underage girls and having sex with them.
And let me say one thing, like,
He is guilty.
Don't be mesmerized by what he says and his music that he puts out, because that was my fault at first. When he came out with Aaliyah, with all the accusations before in the video, I knew it was him. Then he put all these albums out. I fell back in love with him. I was like, oh, yeah, dang, he did that, but it's okay. I mean, it's bad, but yeah. And I listened to all that Step in the Name of Love. He Saved Me, that whole double CD he put out. You know, I fell into the trap. I admit it. I fell into the trap, the R. Kelly trap. If that's it, trapped in the closet. I fell into the R. Kelly trap.
You are the only one. A lot of people did.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that now, because it was just like, it's so wrong, and I feel bad that I fell for it then.
Well, here's my thing.
But from this day forward, I'm not even with it.
You know better, you do better.
Yeah, I know better, I do better. And that's what I want the people to hear now, man. You know better, do better, man. Like, this dude, this is just wrong.
That's right. You know better, do better. And y'all know he did it. This is the same guy who was pissing on the 14-year-old. This is the same guy that married a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
And you're questioning whether he's guilty of what these girls are accusing him of. He did it.
Girls.
And he's doing it now. And then when you look at his interview and the guy says, is it true that you like teenagers?
And he said, I like young girls.
He didn't say that. What he did say was, what do you mean by teenagers? What age are you talking? Everybody know what a teenager is.
Yeah.
And anybody that does not like teenagers will say,
hell no.
Yeah, hell no. I'm not messing with no teenagers. 18 up, 21 up. But he had to get clarification on what the guy was asking. That is crazy. Aren't you admitting some type of guilt? Isn't that revealing right there that there's some sort of confusion within that individual? He has to clarify what that man meant by teenagers? Come on now. I know what a teenager is, Mr. Mysterious. Do you know?
I know what a teenager is.
Thank you. R. Kelly knows. He was just trying to be extremely careful.
Had teenagers, and I think they were teenagers then.
He was just trying to be extremely careful with the question. Yeah. So don't forget, y'all. This is the same guy, I'm going to say this, that was pissing on the 14-year-old that we have on tape. It's clear now. We now know that was R. Kelly, because the tape is a whole lot clearer now these days. Thank you for technology. And then this is the same guy that married Aaliyah. This is the guy that married Aaliyah. Yes, this person has proven that he is capable of doing these things that these underage girls are saying.
Mm-hmm. You know what else?
He's proved it. He's proved it. He's proved it. He's done it. He is guilty. What more do you need? What more do you need? I'm sorry. I'm just ticked off because I cannot believe that people are saying they're making the comments that they're making. This man is clearly guilty. Yes, we all love his music. His music, we love it. We love his music. I love his music. But the man is guilty. He's guilty. Another thing, don't fall for the ploy. He just released a song last week. Puppet Master. See, he's trying to manipulate us just like he manipulated those girls. Yeah. He's playing Puppet Master here. See, here we are down here, right down here, looking up to R. Kelly. He's up here puppeteering. Yeah. He's puppeteering. He's putting out more music. He's trying to distract us. He's trying to give us more of what... Would you stop, Miss Mysterious? He's trying to give us more of what he knows that we like and what we are attached to. He is very talented. We love his music, and he's trying to distract us with that. And he has done that in the past, and it worked. And he's doing it again. Man. He is the puppet master. He's up here. He's pulling our strings, and we dancing, and we stepping, and we doing all this, and he's the puppeteer. He's puppeteering. Please wake up. Realize what he's doing. The nigga is nasty. He's sick. He's traumatized. He's guilty. And he needs to be locked up along with those parents and along with his crew. That's all I got to say.
And the guy who done the interview who said I changed her Aaliyah's birthday.
Him too.
Yeah, he need to go first.
So this is what I need y'all to do.
Go first, because R. Kelly was sick, but dude was in his right mind, and he said, you know what? I'm gonna